Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited. I am excited every first Thursday of the month. I get excited because I get to be with royalty. Yes, royalty. I have queens among queens that are going to be coming on every first Thursday. So if you're going to miss it, you need to set up your calendar like now for 2022 because we're finishing off this year for December. I can't believe it's December. And then we're going to be more power packed for the new year. But every time we meet is power packed. So, hey, you gotta be here. So if you're here tonight, welcome to the Diamond Perspective panel with the lovely queens. My name is Barbara J Beckley. I'm gonna bring them on. I know you're waiting. You're like, okay, where are they at? They're coming. I gotta do the introduction. So I just want everybody to know every first Thursday, every month, we meet right here. We have a panel of women, powerful business women that are rocking the world, that are creating impact in the world. And that's what it's all about. Is they're taking their talents, their skills, what they know, their business techniques, their tips, everything. And they're sitting there giving this time today, every month, coming on to share their wealth with you. So I want everybody to know that you're going to meet each one of them. I'm going to bring them on after because I gotta make my sponsors happy. We do have sponsors on this show, so I got to make sure they're okay, and we bring them on. And then after that, we're going to bring on these lovely queens. And I always ask that when you hear what they do, and towards the end, you're going to get their information. I'm going to do a nice ask, because somebody told me that the last time I told people to reach out to them, and I was like, ooh. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm going to ask nicely to reach out to these wonderful queens, because you never know that there's something they're going to say, because they're all coaches. They're all mentors. They're just brilliant. And it might be something that you need, what you need to do, something that you need, or you might know somebody that might need their services. So with that said, let's bring on the sponsor so we can bring on these queens. Yes. And here they are. Do I have everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Hello, ladies. How are we doing this evening? Welcome.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. We haven't even started talking yet. We're always saying how awesome it is. I know it's awesome because you're all here. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I want to make sure I have it, but I think I'm missing one other person. Did I miss something? Did I have Sean? Okay, good.
I'm here.
Okay, you're on. Okay, good. So I want to start off because this is going to be power pack. Usually we try to say 45 minutes. I know last time we were so into the conversation, we went a whole hour. So I want to make sure everybody gets time to say what they're going to say about our topic tonight. But before we do that, because I want to make sure people understand the queens here, is I want you to introduce yourself. Give it 30 seconds real quickly so we can get into the topic. Just, your name and what you do. And then at the end, we'll make sure they get your contact information, okay?
Okay.
So whoever wants to start.
Go in order, Barbara, from how you see us.
How I see you. Okay, we'll start with you since you did start.
That's it. You can't see, but we're co-hosts. So hey, time to shine. Happiness hour. Anyways, my name is Barbara Ellison, and I work with midlife men and women who are just really ready to take charge of their life. To just be the best ever version of themselves. That full of energy, well-toned, confident, highly paid version of themselves. So that's always fun to do. So I teach them how to be happy, healthy, financially free, and abundant.
Awesome. Okay, next, Miss America Supermom.
So glad to be here, Barbara, and for all the ladies that are on the panel. I'm so excited about today. I am America's Supermom. I'm the mother of 15 children, and my platform is mental wellness. I use all forms of media to help empower moms to live their life with a smile instead of stress. And I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here. Yay. So let's go. I'm seeing, is it Sean?
Yes, it's Sean.
Yes. Good.
Hi, I'm a a whole food nutrition coach, and I help women who have metabolic or autoimmune disorders get back their health and their lives.
Wonderful. Awesome, Sean. I'm so glad you're here, Queen. Thank you so much. And Miss Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol Henderson, Life by Design, and I help people to design their lives, in particularly both adults and children who have had traumatic events in their lives that have affected them both mentally or physically. I help them to overcome that and be much healthier and in better condition and shape.
Awesome, lady. Thank you, Queen, for being here. And Miss Karen.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. I actually am a six-figure money mindset mentor for online business coaches and the creator of the Heart Energy Techniques. It's developer, creator of the Heart Energy Techniques to release any of the blocks, the traumas, the issues that keep you from reaching that six-figure plus business.
Oh, that's money. She talks about money, and I think we all like to hear about that. Okay, so we all introduced. So we did that due diligence. And my name is Barbara J Beckley, and I am a visibility. I changed it up a little bit, visibility and social media strategist. I also basically try to give women those platforms so they can, like we're doing right here, give them a place to shine. Is like I say, like a diamond. And that's my mission in life, to make sure that that happens. So I'm kind of like the cheerleader. I'm like, yeah, go and push you. And then, I shine sometimes too, right?
Exactly. You're getting better at shining.
I'm getting, thank you, Barbara, because you've been on me about that.
I get on her because she doesn't introduce herself, and sometimes she doesn't say what she does. I mean, when we started our show, she didn't even want to do our show, and now we've been on for a year and a half. Barb, yeah. So yeah, and now she misses it if we happen to have to miss.
I know. It's funny. I'd be like, I don't want to miss the show. but enough, two plugs for us. Well, we're going to put that to the side. Thank you, Barbara, for that. For our show.
Two plugs for us.
Two plugs for us. But tonight I want to go in a topic that, I know we're always on as business coaches. I like to bring on certain topics that's dealing with, certain business, if you're a coach, and what to do, especially when it comes to your clients, potential clients, maybe business project, what have you. So I was thinking, since this is the month of the holidays, we already had Thanksgiving, and now we're going into the Christmas spirit here. And, you always hear things about gifts, giving, people giving gifts or what have you. If you believe in that, a lot of people there might be different, thought processes here, religions and everything. But overall, people look at December and they think gifts. So I was thinking, I said, how are we gifting, personal wise and family wise, okay, and friends, but how are we gifting our clients? How are we really making sure that they understand that we appreciate them and, the gratitude and everything? So I came up, I always got a quote to kind of start off this. And it says, customers may forget what you said, but they'll never never forget how you make them feel. It's kind of a portion from Maya Angelou a little bit. And they switched it up because it's from Carl. He looked like he took some of her and put it together. But I love how, I always love those type of quotes where, person may forget certain things you say, but they're going to always remember how you made them feel, because we're human. Mm-hmm. So I want to start off by asking the question to each lady, each expert queen, that what do you feel? I mean, what do you kind of do when it comes to your clients and maybe gifting or just appreciating them? And anybody can start off.
Well, I have at the holiday season every year, I have a Healthy for the Holidays cookbook and planner that helps them to make healthy foods, and it kind of makes over the recipes that they're already using for the holidays to make them a little bit healthier, and allows them to stay on track while still serving up everything that everybody else in their family is still going to love. It doesn't take a whole lot of changes to make these things something that you can eat and feel good about. And then when they get a little bit closer to the end of the year, I give them a planner for the next year to help them. It's a health and wellness planner.
Cool. Okay, well, Barb's going to be right back. So, Lachelle, the power, start with you. Go with you.
All right. Well, I think that was some great ideas, Sean. I really like that. I'm thinking, hey, I'm over here taking a mental note because that would be a good one.
Both.
But I think, usually what I try to do is not overwhelm myself with the holidays. I try to incorporate a spirit of giving all year. I'm a part of a program called Send Out Cards. And so I'm able to send out customized cards, for birthdays, anniversaries, or whatever, just thinking of you type of idea. So that's one way. And I think I was challenged here recently by a group of people that are very active on LinkedIn to do a recommendation or some endorsements for people that are connected to me as clients or just acquaintances or connections every day until the end of the year. So sometimes just being able to give people that social proof that's necessary for them to continue to build their portfolio and how they show up in the world is something that I've kind of adopted this holiday season, because many people are not having the holidays as we know it, or even work as we know it. So being able to have that added opportunity for people to see who they're working with, what value they're bringing, because they're not able to interact a lot of times face to face with people. A lot more things are virtual. So those are a couple things that come to mind for me.
One of the things that I have really been adopting lately is like what I had a conversation partly with Carol here and partly with a couple other of my mentors. And we were talking about, you're like, what do you like to do? And it's like, I like to help people. Yeah. But what do you like to do with them? And I said, well, you know what, if it comes right down to it, I love celebrating with people. Let's celebrate. And I truly believe we don't celebrate the little things enough. We always celebrate the big things, but we tend to not celebrate the everyday miracles, those everyday little things. So one of the things that I have really been adopting, just even in the last few weeks, is I celebrate everything. So if somebody has a new promotion, or if somebody has a new job, or if somebody's having a birthday, and those kinds of things. But I don't just say, oh, happy birthday, or I have got a little meme for each one. I've got quotes for each that go along with each one of them. And you wouldn't believe the people that are getting back to me saying, wow, Barb, what a great message. I loved the message. It just made me smile. You wouldn't believe all the comments that I'm getting back. And that's the name of the game. Is and so I'm doing it with my clients, yes, but I'm also doing it with other people. And it's like, wow, I have made so many new connections. In fact, I think that's how Karen and I met, was on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because I saw.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Never know. And here she is.
And see, here she is. Yeah.
It's all about connections. It's all about getting to know people and reaching out. And I love the energy. The big thing is energy. In my heart energy techniques, it is all about energy. So the more we can put out there, the more joy we can put out there, the better things are. And filling your your joy thing inside, you're
Right.
absolutely, it comes from inside.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's what I love to do for my clients and people that I am meeting. So right now I'm sharing my podcast, and people are getting so much out of that. And Barb is one of my guests on my podcast on Awesome Life. And it's all about having an awesome life, of being aware and allowing that joy to come in. And then we can look at the wellness part of it. I love that, Sean. The wellness part of it, the environment that we're in, the spirit, the spirituality about things, the organization. And that's something I'm still working on. I need help with organization.
Yeah.
Organization and money. Of course, I do love money, because we cannot do what we want to do in the world without an income, without a good income, so we can give back more. And anything that comes to me in my business always goes back to helping children and animals, organizations that help children and animals.
Yeah.
And those vary for each person, but a portion of everything goes back out. And that's what it's all about. And then, of course, the end of awesome is an E for enjoyment, fun, focus, fun, and financial freedom. That's what I'm all about.
Always fun. Always having some fun.
Always having some fun. So I give my guests and my clients an opportunity to find the clarity, my gift of clarity, so that actually it's a visualization that I take people through to find out what is going on, what was the issue that has kept them stuck from achieving the goals and the financial freedom that they are looking for in their work. And it is such a joy. It's like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about that. And it's like, yeah, all right, let's clear that out, and with the heart energy techniques, and let's start moving forward. That's
awesome. I want to hear from Sean and Carol. What do you kind of do for your clients as far as giving back and gifting them?
Well, Carol, why don't you go ahead? I started.
You're muted.
No, Carol's talking. I hear Carol.
Nope, that was Sean.
Oh, that was Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's ever first? I think Carol is low. I can't hear her.
I had muted my phone, my call, just to make sure that I wasn't the source of the feedback.
Oh.
And forgot that I had done that. I give back to my clients in gifts and stuff like that, whether it's an online newsletter or a little thing that they're dealing with. I'll send them one of those. I also reach out with, if I have their phone number, with a personal text or on Messenger, and just to brighten their day. The other thing that I like to do, and this came up, I have a Bible study that I'm a member of, and we're all business owners. And so we have principles we base our businesses on. And one of the things that came up the other day is that some people are struggling since this last year, and just with where things are. One girl has a magazine, and she had quite a few non-renewals or cancellations. Nothing against her. Everybody in town absolutely loves her. But she was having trouble getting, she was concerned that she was losing some people. And so what came up in the Bible study is I told them, I said, we need to each go to each other's comments and pages and stuff and comment on it. And they had not even considered that. Barbara and I do things like that all the time. Mm-hmm. But these women are in a different type of business. They're more brick and mortar. Like one owns the first store that we meet in, and just different. One's a banker. This other lady has magazines, and her husband has a pool installation company. So a wide variety of businesses, and so they had not really even considered, it hadn't clicked. They put things about their business online, but it hadn't clicked about how if we go and comment and share on Facebook about it, how much, more credibility. It's that third party validation. And that right there can be the biggest gift for a business owner, to have that third party validation, especially this time of year when everybody's thinking, where am I going to spend my dollars? Whether you have an online business, a wellness business, a personal business, any of the things we have, any kind of coaching or TV shows or whatever, to be able to have other people say, oh, this is great, you need to go check this out, is always very, very valuable.
Awesome. I'm loving that, Carol. Oh, so much good information. Good golden nuggets tonight. So, Sean, share with us.
Well, I started off.
Well, you were gone.
I was.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
I
you
was,
were gone.
that's my fault. Okay. See,
That's
I
okay.
missed it. Well, if you have anything else to add, let's put it there, and then we can go around again.
Well, I do regular challenges in my group that are free, so that all year long people are getting value from me. I don't just save it up for one point in time. You need to be giving value all the time.
Yes.
You need to be available to answer questions for people who may never, ever buy your program, but you don't know that. And you don't know that they may recommend someone to you that is really going to be a valuable customer. And you need to treat each and every person you interact with like they are the most valuable customer you have.
So true. So true. I like that came up a lot, which is so true. I know American Supermom said that too, and a few others, about you throughout the whole year. And see, that's the key. A lot of times I think a lot of, I'm going to say it, some businesses fail because they wait to those like holidays to say, okay, let me give you something or whatever. But if you're constantly, giving just little nuggets of things throughout the year, that makes you more unique than the other person. And people, like I said with the quote, is how you make them feel. They're going to remember you before they might even reach out to another coach or a business person, because they know that every day or every other week or whatever, you were in there, you were coming there, you were being nice and gracious to them, you were giving them certain information that they needed. And I always tell people, gifts don't have to be like candy and plants and stuff. I mean, gifts could be, okay, you gave me 2 tips how to, make sure that I can manage my money right. Or you gave me a tip, with American Supermom, she's all over the place with Clubhouse and her own show. Well, you gave me some tips on how I can look better on video so I can present myself better.
Right.
Thank you, American Supermom. So those are the kind of things that people really resonate with, because you're making them feel good by saying, oh, they're giving me something and they're not even charging me for it. And second of all, it's moving them to the next level of whatever they're doing in their life. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of that, I think, just giving people your time. So often we're so busy or we're disengaged, you could be in front of somebody and, you're on your phone, they're on theirs, and just taking time to be intentional. I was in a Clubhouse room this morning in my club, and we had a young lady come and talk to us about exercises to de-stress. And she just had us simply do exercise where we wrote, where we drew these shapes with both of our hands. So we had a writing implement in both hands, and she was explaining that it was something like bilateral something, with your brain, where you're using both parts at the same time. But what it was an exercise for was to teach you to be present, to be intentional, to think about just whatever you're focusing on right now, letting that be what's important. And so often we get distracted with these big ideas and trying to multitask that we miss the element of just being intentional and just dedicating the time. You can really get a lot accomplished if you just say, okay, I'm going to sit here and have this conversation for 15 minutes rather than trying to do 7 and 8 different things while you're trying to have these conversations,
Yeah.
because it's going to make everything get even more out of control. My daughter's over here bringing me some cookies now.
Oh, it's this distraction.
It's
What
Snoopy
distraction?
cookie.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh,
good.
Nice.
Those look good.
I'm like, look, I was on a roll doing good. And then, okay.
I want one. I
And
want
it's
one.
all
Give me
good
one.
because you can laugh and have a good time with it. And that's what it's all about. You can be really focused and mindful of the moment. And the moment was your daughter brought you cookies. Yippee!
That was a gift to you.
One I don't need. Okay. I'm just saying.
But I want to piggyback on what America Supermom said, because I've noticed, and I'm just going to tell on myself, Barbara, me and Barbara, we do this a lot in our own show. We tell on ourselves, and then you learn from us. But one thing I've been noticing a lot within the time that I've been like at home, with this whole pandemic, is that my mind is racing all the time now. Like different, like Michelle said, it's like I look at one thing, I'm like, okay, I'm working on this, and I see something that's like, oh, yeah, I got to do this. Looks good too. And like, oh, yeah, I got to do this. Oh, yeah, and then I got this. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you even get the first thing finished? Do you even understand why it popped in your head and what you need to do it for? So I had to like bag back. I don't know if anybody else is having the same problem. Maybe I need to, get some counseling. I'm just kidding. Maybe I need to sit back in a couch. But I just feel, because I'm bubbling up now with so many ideas that I want to do to impact, help impact other people. It's like almost overwhelming to the point where I have to write it down. I mean, I have a pad of paper and I just write this stuff down. I'm like, okay, Barbara, write it down so you have to forget it. But then you have to, like you said, the next step to put into action, you have to do it in chunks. Like we always say, what they say, eat the elephant in little chunks. And I don't know if anybody else has that issue.
Well,
I
the key is that you have to do those brain dumps. You have to get it all out of your head and onto the paper, or onto your Word document. But then not everything that you wrote down is going to be something that you really want to do. They're all just ideas. And you get it all down, and you move on with the things that you've already got that you need to take action on. And then you schedule a time to go back and review these things. And some of them are going to still sound really great. And others, when you go back and look at them, you're like, that doesn't really fit with me. It's a great idea, but for somebody else. And, I have always had ADD since I was a child. I learned a lot of coping mechanisms. Before phones, I had a brain book. I had a day runner, and everything had to be in it because that was my brain. If it was not written down in that book, it did not exist for me. And now I have everything on my phone or my computer, and if it's not there, it does not exist. But that is how you manage it. Yeah. And I think right now everybody's got a little ADD because we've been out of our normal routines for so long. So I definitely recommend doing the brain dump, but then you need to go back and prioritize later, but give yourself some time to think about it first. Let your brain go on to something else and then come back to it. Yes. And then pick a couple of things and get those scheduled in your planner. If you're not ready to take action on it, put it a couple of days away for you to come back to it just to think about it some more. But, you can do all the things, you just can't do them all at once. So you just have to work on, so this is the one sounds like it's got the most potential for me right now. So that's the one you start on. And you break down, well, what's the first step I have to take? So you make those steps and you put them in your planner. You put them in your calendar. You make alarms. You set timers. Yes. But you have to take action too.
Yes. Oh, Shauna, awesome. I'm loving it. Awesome tips. Yes.
On that on that note is once you do go through what Sean was just saying, you need to set some block time. There's times in your week I mean there's things that aren't movable. There are things that it doesn't matter,
Oh, yeah.
if the world blows up that you need to do. Okay? And that's exact you don't have any control over the time or the place. So those are in there. And then you have times to do your work and coming from the kind of business, I've been out of my brick and mortar business now for a few years. And you have to learn how to, I've been doing what everybody else did last year. I've done for years because I've worked from home both before and after my brick and mortar business. And you have to you can't like, oh well, I'm going to throw a load of laundry in, oh well, and then there's some dust over there, I'll dust that, and you start doing all these things and you come back and you haven't done the first or the second or the third one. So if you block time, say this is what I'm doing, I'm gonna contact clients, I'm gonna send out, well, Barbara sends out birthday greetings, and you block that time, and for 15 minutes or half an hour you send those out to everybody. You don't even answer. If they answer you ignore it until later. And then you do your next block time and your next block time till you have your work done. And most of us can get our work done in very few hours if we really focus in and do that block time. And then we go on to the next thing and we go on to the next thing. We think it saves time to do laundry while we're working, but it really doesn't, because we do get distracted that way. I mean, if you can get disciplined enough to put it in and then do your block time, do something else and do another block. If you're disciplined enough to do that, that's great. But most people get distracted.
I put a 10-minute block in between my times where I don't have anything scheduled. So I can do whatever it is I need to do. If I have to go throw on a little laundry, that's when I would do it. If I need to go get a snack and my cup of coffee, that's the time. But then you can get right back and focus on the next task at hand.
Yeah, always put a buffer in. Barbara and I were talking about buffers last night and stuff. And so, yeah, you have to put a buffer in because there is life that goes on.
And especially if you do have ADHD, transitions are difficult. So giving yourself the buffer and getting up and doing something else in between makes that transition easier on your brain. It makes it easier for you to switch from one task to the next.
Yes. And one thing, because I found out I was having problems with the time that Carol mentioned, is I bought this. This is a timer. So what I do, I set it up like for 10, like maybe 25 minutes. I want to work on this task. And as soon as the beep goes off, I said, okay, that switches. That's a transition to say, okay, Barbara, you got to move on to that next task. And this has really been helping me a lot. I'm sorry, Carol.
I read somewhere that it takes a full 20 minutes to change hats, to take off your business hat and put on your house hat or your wife hat or your mother hat. And so, it doesn't seem that long, at least to me it doesn't. But if it takes that long, that's a big chunk of time. So that's where the buffer that Sean was talking about is very helpful.
And one of the things too is in between tasks, get up and move. Do something. I'm going to tell on myself. I stand up and I do the twist. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist.
Bop, bop.
Because you've got to move. And then my other tip for that is turn off your notifications. Turn them off.
I actually turned off all notifications on my phone a couple of years ago, and I check my phone on a schedule.
Yeah.
And I have, it will vibrate more if I have like somebody like my mom is calling, but because it could be an emergency. But generally speaking, nothing happens unless I choose for it to be that time for me to check my messages. Because
that's great until I got a new phone.
Control them instead of you still taking control of your time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My new phone, if I turn off my notifications, it turns off my ringer. And I haven't
Yeah,
figured
my
it
ringer's
out yet.
off.
Oh
No,
yeah,
Well, but I
I
leave
turn
the
off my
ringer.
ringer. I haven't.
Yeah.
It hasn't rung in years.
I have to, if the only time my ringer is on if somebody texts me and says, "Gee, Barb, I'm going to call you in 10 minutes." Oh, okay, I'll turn my ringer on.
The only time my ringer is on is when I'm in the car because I don't know how to make it turn off in the car. My car automatically connects.
Right.
Well, you see now how we went from the gift to customers to time, because I
Time.
brought that up with my problem. And you all gave me
We
some
put a
gifts.
load of laundry in, didn't we?
And you know, I love time bending. Time bending is surprisingly a very real thing. And every time I accomplish it, it's like, oh, wow, this is so cool. So I've set a time and well, I haven't set a time. I have my schedule, as you say. Without my schedule, I don't know what's going on. So I got to have my phone with my calendar. And then I say, all right, well, I have 10 minutes before my next appointment. And I do have my home office, just like you do. So yesterday, it was so great. I got the house decorated for Christmas. I did the laundry. I did the dishes. I made the dinner. And I took care of all my clients and all my work. And I got so much done. I just said, okay, I have to do some time bending because I'm not ready to take care of this customer when I am already in the middle of dusting. So please, all right, let's get some time bending in here. And my dusting was done. I was back with the customer online. It's amazing, just time bending. And the other thing is that, and a knowing that if it is meant to be, it will be.
It will be.
That's all there is to it. If it's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah.
And I learned that a long time ago when my son was going off to England. I wasn't going to see him for years. I didn't see him for almost 9 years. But he was going off and we were stuck in downtown Boston traffic. I had not taken into consideration rush hour, getting him to the airport. And lo and behold, I said, well, if you are meant to go to England, you'll be there on time. And he had to be there 3 hours early, right? International flight. And I got there. It was like, 40 minutes before the flight took off. And I said, well, if you were supposed to be there, then you will. So I dropped him off. I parked the car. I ran into the airport, said, where is he? He's not at the check-in counter, ran up to the security. And there he is on the other side of security saying, bye, I'm getting on the plane.
Well, at least you got to see him a little bit before he got on that plane.
Indeed.
Wow.
So, we can time bend based on what is really important to us.
Right.
And if it's meant to be, it will happen.
Yeah. And that helps you not beat and what doing that too helps to not beat yourself up if you don't get certain things done. And I had to learn that too, because I'm a person that want to get things, I want to get that done. And I said, okay, Barbara, stop it. Stop the madness. Okay. The stuff that you finished today, it was meant to be. Then you go on to the next day.
And sometimes, and sometimes life happens too. Like last night, I had an event planned, but I had 2 gals that I was helping them set up their new digital business cards. And the time for my event came, and it was like, yeah, I'm not going to leave these 2 girls high and dry, not knowing how to finish setting up their digital business cards. So, because you know what? There will be, I think it just, what Karen just said, there will be another session of what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Because it was more important to me to be of service to the gals that was setting up their business cards.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Barbara,
again, it's
just
the
an
heavy light. I'm
Barbara,
sorry.
tomorrow morning when we're on our call, you should
Mhm.
offer to do a Zoom for setting up digital business cards where you can have
Yeah.
everybody together and do it at once. Just an
Yeah.
FYI, that
Yeah.
just popped into my head.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, talking about time, our time is getting near. So I want to make sure, because one thing, since this is, the month we're talking about giving and everything, I want each queen, each lady to just, just for a minute to kind of give a gift of wisdom from you to the people that are watching the show today. And then right after you do that, if you can give them how they can contact you, because that's another thing I said earlier, please do that as well. So let's start off. I'll start with Carol. I'll go in the middle.
Me? Okay. Carol, not Kara. Okay.
Oh,
Um,
Carol.
Carol, my business is Carol Henderson Life by Design. You can reach me at carolhendersontx@aol.com, or you can find me on Facebook. That's easy breezy. Um, the thing I would say is don't stress. And I'm preaching to the choir. Barbara and I were on the phone the other day while I just the tension down my back was probably palpable on her end of the phone because I was trying to get something done. I was under a Black Friday thing. Same thing with Sean. I was going, Sean, I need help. But reach out to people. And then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, let it
So,
go.
you have to let it go. You cannot let it ruin your life or your health because stress
Mhm.
is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
So you said let it go. I was thinking of, the movie. Let it go. Let it go.
If I looked good in a skinny blue dress with long white gloves, I'd sing it for you. And if I had a voice to sing.
I know it really is. Okay, Miss American Supermom, give us your gift of wisdom and how they can contact you.
Well, thank you so much for this conversation. I think it is something that we never can get enough of when it comes to giving, time management. I mean, I could go on and on with still having 10 kids of my own at home and trying to juggle all those things. But I think what I would say is take some time to be intentional and create memories. At the end of the day, it's just like what you said in the beginning. People are going to remember how you made them feel. So, thinking about how you can have that added touch of being unforgettable, because there are so many coaches out there, there are so many people that, do different industries. There's not just one of each industry, a lot of people within that category, but there's only one of you. So finding a way that you can stand out, that you can
Mhm.
really share what makes you special and why you are the best option for whatever industry that is. So remembering that and creating memories, and it could just be simple things from just a simple thank you to a phone call, a video message. Some of these things are really don't have to cost us anything, but it's a matter of just taking the time to be intentional and do them. I can be reached on all social media platforms. You can look me up under America's Supermom or Lachelle Atkins. And again, I am just glad to have been here this evening. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Queen. Wonderful. You and Carol giving some good gifts of wisdom. I'm loving it. Okay, Miss Sean, give us some gifts of wisdom and tell them how they can contact you.
Well, my wisdom is that to make sure that you're giving value all the time, and to make sure when you're having a conversation with someone that they understand they have your attention. They are the most important person right this minute. You need to be focused on the person that you're talking to. And you can find me on social media, Sean Carol Morris, 2 R's, 2 L's, and theketodiner.com.
Great. I love that. Focus, take your attention on them and don't have this in front of you as you're doing it. I'm just going to add to that. That drives me crazy when I see coaches and doing that while they're trying to listen to others and they want their attention. So good wisdom, gifts of wisdom. Okay, Miss, let's see, who should I pick? Karen, give us some gifts of wisdom and how they can contact you.
Well, I tell you, these are wonderful tips of wisdom coming through. And all I can say is always speak from the heart. And one of the things that is so important is say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't try and please other. I'm a former people pleaser and self-doubter. It isn't worth it. It ruins your life. So say what you mean what you say, and do it from the heart. And as long as you're doing it with love and kindness and authenticity, you can't go wrong. You just cannot go wrong. And I'm Karen Stultz, and you can reach me at KarenStultz.com or Karen@KarenStultz.com, or on LinkedIn. It's Karen, I think it's Karen J. Stultz on LinkedIn, and Karen Johnson Stultz on Facebook.
Good. Wonderful. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, coming from your heart. I love it because that will take over anything when it comes from your heart. And people can tell when it's coming from your heart and just coming from somewhere else. So thank you for coming from your heart tonight into the group. Okay, Miss Barbara Ellis.
Well, hi, I'm Barbara. Well, on Facebook, I'm Barbara Lunan Ellison, because there are so many. Number one, I was in Facebook jail, name jail, for the longest time. So, I mean, you still laugh about that. I mean, I was there, and it was all Sean's fault because she didn't make me call her before I did the stupid thing that put me in there.
Okay. This is not the gift of wisdom. This is just venting.
It was just the funniest thing because Sean, but this was kind of a gift. When you are not sure, this is what needs to be said, I think, right at this moment. When you are thinking about doing something and you're not quite sure that that it's the right thing to do, call the expert before you do it. Because that was exactly Sean's comment to me when I called her and said, how do I fix this on Facebook? She said, Barb, why didn't you call me before you did it? I said, well, that would have been too easy. So I was in name jail for what, 2 months? Over 2 months in name jail. So, but so that's pretty much my tip. And and going into December, that's especially true. If you need help with something, if it's like if you're having a dinner and you are trying to do the whole menu yourself, get people to bring stuff. You do not have to do everything yourself, because Christmas is supposed to be the best time of the year ever. And yet people get so stressed because they're trying to do everything themselves and not ask for help.
And there is no shame in ordering in.
And there's no shame in ordering.
Always ask for help, and make it as easy as possible. Do the best you can. And if it isn't absolute perfection, which there is no such thing as perfection anyway, just enjoy. It's all about enjoyment.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Barbara, how can they contact you?
How can they contact you, Barbara? It's not enjoyable if you're stressed. It's not enjoyable for your guests or for yourself.
No, exactly. So how you reach me? Barbara Lunan Ellison on Facebook. On LinkedIn, I'm Barbara Ellison. You can email me at barbaraellison@gmail.com. So yeah, and I have a new digital business card. I'm so excited. And you can reach that at bit.ly/myzcard with a capital Z and a capital C.
Wow, look at us. We're getting really...
I'm getting high tech. And the funny part is, here's me, the non-techie. I'm teaching the tech. How did that happen?
Because you a techie, you like gadgets. You know that.
I love gadgets. I love that.
So I'll finish off by giving some words of wisdom gifts. A gift is something that just popped in my email today, because I get those quotes like every day. They'll send me like the quote for the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got the quote earlier. And the other one came, it says, when the customer comes first, the customer will last. So when the customer comes first, the customer will last. And I said,
like that.
ooh, I said, I got to write that down. I said, that came in my email right on time. So, and I like how it's stated, if you make them first, they'll last a long time. I mean, I will stay with any of you if you made me first as a customer, and I'll sing your praises. So with that, make sure, your customer is just not somebody that's, just buying your product, but it's a relationship with them. And I think the biggest thing that we all have to remember is always, if it's a customer, if it's a business partner, if it's a friend, a newfound friend, anything that's a relationship building, and you have to build that relationship. One thing that really irks me is when people will IM me through LinkedIn or whatever. Oh, hi, Barbara, by the way, can you buy this product? I'm like, it's just like that. I said, you don't even know my last name and you're trying to sell me your product. Really? We haven't even had a conversation for 1 minute in the messenger. I mean, really, they hit you hard. So right there, and now you feel like, wow, yeah, you know who I really am. I mean, and then you're selling me something that's totally not, that I don't really need. And if you would have read my bio on LinkedIn, you might have find that out. But anyway,
exactly. Read the bio.
They didn't even do that, and then it's an automatic one at that. So, it just goes down the list with that. So make sure you have to make it personal. You have to build those relationships. And people say, well, that takes time. Well, you know what? You're going to take that time so you can make them first so they can last. So you take that time.
Like you and I that day that we were talking about, would you ask somebody to marry them on the first date?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's a reality show and they're getting paid. Yeah. No, you don't do that. Yes. You don't do that. The Bachelorette. Anyway. Okay. See, Barbara, you got me rolling on that.
Yeah. but that part. Okay. Let's talk about December though, too. Part of this is to be laughing.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the things that Barbara and I in our show, we're the happiness, the Time to Shine happiness show. Let's make people laugh.
Barbara, you know what? I love you so much.
Laugh.
That's the third plug. But with that, you can contact me at www.barbarabeckley.com, my website, and I'm all over social media, like everybody said. But the biggest thing I want to leave with, first of all, I want to leave a gift to all these ladies here is thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a part of the Diamond Perspective panel. Thank you for just, hearing my call to say, you'll come on, because I know this is time that you're taking away from your business, your family, and everything. So thank you for coming out, showing up, and just giving me the gift to hear all your wonderful wisdom and tips. So I appreciate you so much, so much. And that is coming from the heart. That is coming from the heart.
And I've got to say the same thing. I know it's your show, but I've got to say the same thing. You ladies have made me feel so welcome here, and I thank you. Truly, truly thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I want to just a little correction. It is our show. It's our show. So just to keep that. Okay.
All right. Now I'm learning. I learned every step of the way.
And I'm glad that you felt, love the first time, because this is Karen's first time, and hopefully it's not the last. Like we said, we come on every month, first Thursday of the month, 8:00 Central Time, and we just have conversations, discussions, and basically to create an impact, in each other's lives. Because I learned so much from these ladies, and then to create an impact to people that are watching us now tonight and every other night. So we're gonna wish you, because it's funny, because we're not gonna come back on until after when the new year comes in.
Can you believe it's 2022?
Can you believe that? So we'll be back on January 6th.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, we do got to do Christmas before, right? Before.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas and okay, good. Merry Christmas and
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And I wish you and your families so much joy. this year and bringing in the new year. And we're going to rock it. We're going to rock the Diamond Perspective panel for 2022. Get ready for us because we are coming to your, what is it, visual, Facebook, wherever we're at, because we're on a lot of channels right now. All channels.
Coming to your town.
Yes, coming to your town. I like that. Coming to your town on the next episode of the Diamond Perspective panel. Say to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.